everyone, it's Kim. I am putting together card kits for the senior citizens. I teach a class once a month, and I usually just do regular kits with, you know, I cut the layers or make it a little dimensional. But last month I asked them, you know, what do you want to make? And they asked me if I know how to watercolor. And I said, yes, I know how, but I'm not an expert, but I'd be happy to show you what I know. So they were very excited about that. So excited that the word got out, and typically I have 4 to 6 ladies in my class, and I just got confirmation that there's going to be 12. So we've maxed out the class. We don't have any more chairs, which I'm very excited. This is going to be fun. So the card kits are going to exist of 4 note cards, we're calling them, and I'm taking a bunch of different kinds of stamps that they can choose from, and I'm just going to show you as an example. This is one of Mary's from Cards TV. This is one of her stamps that I didn't have. I was looking through, but there's all kinds of things. They're just a note, missing you, just because. They can decide whatever it is that they want to put on it. For the video that I'm doing here, a little black ink on my finger, I'm doing wishing you well. All right, so let's get in because it's going to take a little bit longer than normal. 2 cards. I'm going to be doing these flowers on one with the stem, and then I'm going to be doing these flowers on the other one. Now I don't have my stamp mat under here, but I think it'll still work. So I want to place my flowers so that I can put the stamp right there, and I'm bringing it up to about the middle, up higher. Just stuck my hand in my paint here. Let me just wipe that off. Set that over here so that doesn't happen again. I'll bring that back in a second. Okay. Then I'm going to do another one. And the challenge for me is using wooden stamps because I can't see through them. So I kind of just judge where I want to put it. Hopefully it doesn't overlap or, you know, fall off the page per se. Okay. Then I'm going to put my stems on. This stamp I've had forever. It's called Single Flower, and it's from Stamp It. Oh, I must have got this from my friend Lindsay. She sent me a bunch of very cool stamps. She actually lives in Australia now. So, all right, so I'm going to turn this to the side just because I want to be able to see the stem matching up with the petal of the leaf. I don't want to go over it. Not masking right here. I'm going to mask in a minute. And again right here. Now if you noticed, I put my little paper towel right there because I don't want to stamp on my mat there. And I'm going to go here. So this right here didn't stamp too well, so I'm going to use my black Sharpie. I know that the black Sharpie will not bleed when you go to use the watercolor. So I'm just going to fix my little mistake here. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and put another set of leaves on, but I am going to use the masking technique now. So what I did was I just took my Ink-a-Dink-a-Doo. There's all kinds of masking paper out there. You don't have to get this one in particular, but you stamp the image on the masking paper. Then you fussy cut it out, and then you just peel the back off so that you can place your flower, your masked part over like so. And this is an Avocado Arts leaf. I'll show you in a second here. I'm just going to, bring it about right there. And when you lift up the mask, it looks like it's going underneath. I remember the first time I saw this technique, I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. So, yep, I still think it's cool. It's just more leaves, you know, is all it is. It's adding just a little bit more things for the people to be able to paint. Wow, that was pretty rude. Sorry about that. Got a little tickle in my throat. And then this one down here. Just going to bring it up about right there and stamp down. Okay, now we're going to do our painting. Set this aside because I think for this, the video so the video is not so long, I'm going to not do that one. We'll just paint this one. So I've got this sponge brush, and we're going to be using a very light coat of blue. Let me get this out of the way. And so that the water paper stays down onto their table, I'm not going to mask it this way because it's going to end up that it's going to have like a white frame around it. I'm going to mask the back. I'm going to put the paper on the back. This way, as you wet it, it's not going to lift up. So I'm wetting my sponge paintbrush here and just getting a little bit of blue on it. And we're just going to go across the paper like this. Now, the purpose for this is because I didn't want to put another layer underneath this. I wanted the blue to be the separation of the base of the card and this painted piece here. It's very, very light. Probably cannot really see it too much on the video. But like I said, it's enough that you'll be able to see the separation between the two. I have to show you that avocado art stamp set too. I just noticed that I hadn't done that. Okay, let that dry for a little bit while I show you this. This is where the leaf came from. It is Thoughts and Smiles from Avocado Arts. Since I'm done with my stamping, I'm going to go ahead and close this. I don't need my to dry out. All right, so let's get started with the actual flowers. Now, I've got this stamp set. It's called Watercolor by Dollar and Rowney. I hope I said that right. Probably didn't. But it's a little bit more than my single set that I have because it has different colors of reds and blues and pinks and stuff. So there's a lot more mixing and opportunities for that. Okay, we're going to start with this brush here. And this is a number 6, if you're wondering. And I'm going to do the petals of the flowers in the deep yellow. And I always start off really, really light. So my brush is wet, but not soaking, but not dry. It's kind of in the middle. So I'm going to start just like that. I'll even wet it a little bit more. I want a very, very light yellow on here because we're going to go back and add some detail. Now this is a beginner watercolor project because we're not doing a lot of shading or anything like that. So we'll let that sit. Now I'm going to do my leaves. And my leaves are leaf green. Now I started out with this blue green but ended up not liking it. And I'm going to tell them to just do that light coat. One second. Okay, slight delay there. My son was coming downstairs. Okay, so we're just going to put that light color of green on the leaves as well. Now there is a technique that's called wet on wet. Now this is sort of wet on wet. I kind of let it dry though. When you do a background like that, you have to kind of wait for it to dry, or it's wet on wet, which changes the way your watercolor turns out if it's wet on wet. Just wetting my brush here and there and painting that green. Now, if they want, they can come in through here and just put a little bit of green on these small leaves as well. All right, so let's go back in. My brush is not really, really wet. And I'm just going to put a little bit on here, and I'm going to do one stroke down the middle. Not perfect, of course. And then I'm going to feather it out so that it looks more of like a natural leaf. Again, this is just basic watercoloring. You know, no extra professional stuff. I just want them to have fun with it. Bringing it in, bringing it in. And a little bit here as well. One down the middle. And then I can go back in and just do a little bit more detail if I want. There we go. It's really just a preference on how you want it to look. You know, if you want it to just be smooth leaf, you can do a smooth leaf. Okay, wash that real well. And then I'm going to come in with the, I think I like the yellow ochre, I think it's called. Yeah, that's what I like better, instead of that dark brown for the middle. And we're going to do the middle. And I can use a bigger paintbrush for that. That's my 6 again. Just pulling a little bit and painting the middle. Notice how I'm kind of leaving a little bit white, because I'm going to go back in with my brush when it's a little bit dry and move the color around with it. See how it sort of looks frayed? That's the effect that I'm looking for. Okay, so let's say I want to go back in and add more yellow to my flowers. My brush is just a little bit wet. And I'm going to just pull in towards the middle. Just like so. Give myself a little bit more yellow. I kind of ran out there. I'm not really using a palette. I'm using a piece of watercolor paper. This way, this and this is the same, so I'm really seeing what the colors are going to look like on the paper versus, you know, on a plastic white palette. Okay, so that's the insides. Now they can come out here if they want a little bit. You know, they don't have to do it exactly like this. It's whatever they want to do. Just showing it that this, you know, a little bit of dimension with the colors, with the lighter being in the back and the darker being in the front. Okay, now one thing that I was messing around with that was kind of cool. I took my darker brown, which is burnt ember, and I just tapped my number 10 in there. Now, I don't know if they want to do this. I don't know what their level of watercolor or their comfort zone is, but I'm just tapping it in my brown and just giving it a little bit more of character in the paper. Now, in the design, I can also go here and pull from the middle and add a little bit of brown in the petals, like so. Again, it just, you know, giving a little bit more. And then I'm going to come back in here with this green. Again, I'm using that little paintbrush. I like this little paintbrush for little pieces. And just kind of give it a little feathery look. I don't know if that's actually the term, but it just reminds me of feathers when you do this. Yeah, see, that's giving it a little bit more. You can even go with some blue-green in there and feather that out. Yeah, it's fun to mix those colors like that. Now, if they want to go back in and make it so that their feathers aren't so prominent, they would just get a little bit of water and just blend it in. So with whatever they want to do. All right, then let's put our sentiment stamp on. And I'm going to put my little sponge thing under here. I still have that tape under there, but that's okay. Just holding on a little better. Whoops. And I got a little bit of ink on the bottom. I don't want that getting on my card. And we're going to do push down and up, wishing you well. All right, so that's my card. I don't think I'm going to be doing anything else on it. I think this is about all we're going to do with them. So, you know, other than putting the card together, this is kind of what it's going to look like. This is the final card, and then, you know, just a little note card, something simple. All right, thanks so much for watching. I really enjoy watercoloring. If you haven't tried it yet, or you need to get back into it, it's so therapeutic. Thank you so much. Have a great day.